And hello there. We'd like to welcome you into the Philly and Fred show for Tuesday, December 31st, 2025. Today, we're going to talk about the slate. We're going to talk about true or false. We're going to have a true or false segment. We're going to talk about who wins the MVP. And then we're going to say who we think can win the Super Bowl. We're going to go through all the playoff teams and say who we think can and can't, and then the reasons why or why not they can win the Super Bowl. But we're going to start with the slate. We're going to start off on Saturday. Texans 23, Chargers 29. What were your thoughts on this one, Philly?
Yeah. Um, this was really just a defensive battle as we probably would have, expected from these two teams. Texans, I mean, they got off to a very fast start. Two bombs thrown by CJ Stroud, which led to those touchdowns, and then Chargers kind of battled their way back into the game. And honestly, I think Chargers more so beat themselves in this game. You had one of the best kickers in the league, miss an extra point and miss a field goal. That's 4 points right there. I mean, your team loses by 4 points. Also, you have your rookie tight end drop a touchdown in the end zone. So I mean, there's just a lot of like self-inflicting wounds from the Chargers. So yeah, I mean, Texans held another opponent, under 20 points, and yeah, they're I've been saying it that this looks like one of the scariest teams in the NFL. So they're rolling, but I mean, I don't really think much different. About the Chargers. If they clean up the self-inflicted wounds, then they'll be all right in the playoffs. So
Yeah, this game, we talked about how good the defenses were coming in, and we knew they were really good. But they've both been on a tear lately, not giving up a lot of points, not giving up a lot of yards. So I'll say in the end that that's what it was. But these offenses, man, they made some big mistakes, and it looked ugly. I mean, those two interceptions Stroud threw were horrible interceptions. And it was after the Chargers gave them two chances to extend the lead because Gatson dropped the ball in the end zone. And then what do the Texans do? Stroud throws a horrible interception and just gives them the ball back. And then they missed the field goal. The end of that half was just ugly. And they came out like that, Stroud threw them beautiful two deep balls that looked like rookie Stroud. I was like, oh man, if the offense gets rolling at this pace, like they might be unbeatable. And then they played terrible the rest of the game. But we talked
basically,
about how good the defenses were. And I don't think it would have scared me if they were just like great plays. They were just bad decisions by Stroud. Like the one he threw directly to Derwin James, and then the other one was bad too. And then Gatson was just right off his hands. And I think Herbert's hands definitely hurting him, and it's hurting his play too because he's had multiple fumbles where people just go to like tackle him, and they just touch the ball and it falls out of his hands. Like I don't think he wants to grab it with two hands right now, which it's understandable. He broke his hand, but I think that's really hurting his play a little bit when it comes to protecting the ball inside the pocket and when he runs to get out of the pocket. And he was definitely running because that backup O line, those backup tackles, they're not just backup tackles, but they were backup tackles against Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. So that is not when you want to have backup tackles. So that's yeah, I don't know. The Chargers, the offensive line scares me a little bit because Herbert, he's throwing first downs with dudes hanging on him, getting sacked, feels like every other play. His hand's already broken. So yeah, that part scares me a little bit. And then they protected him the one time and he threw a 60-yard bomb to Quentin Johnston. I think this year, and you could say they've drafted receivers, they've drafted a running back, they've drafted an O line, but with what he has on the field right now, he didn't have their first round running back for weeks. Hasn't had both of his either of his he hasn't had his right tackle all year and hasn't had his left tackle in a lot of weeks. I mean, Keenan Allen's solid, but he's getting older. McConkey's kind of fell back to earth a little bit. He might be doing more with less than anybody in the league at this moment. I don't know if you think that way, but watching him against that defense with what they have right now on offense, I was thoroughly impressed. And yeah, I think both teams, their defenses are good enough, and the offenses, they still worry me, but them defenses are so good that them defenses alone, even if they struggle really bad on offense, can lead them to a win or two. But yeah, that's it for that one. We're gonna move on to Green Bay. Ravens 41, Packers 24. I mean, this is what the Ravens game plan should have been all year, with or without Lamar. I I don't know. It almost makes you look worse though. Like as a Ravens fan, it makes me more mad that, oh wow, if we just did that last week, which you ended up the Browns beat the Steelers, so you didn't need like that didn't kill your season, but all we had to do was just run the ball against the Patriots. All we had to do was look behind me, look behind our quarterback, see that big 6'5", 250-pound guy that runs a 4.4, hand it off to him, and we would have won the game. Because that's all they did. Tyler Huntley, I don't know if he had 100. He barely had 100 if he did. Didn't throw the ball down the field at all, but they didn't need it because that's how good Henry was. And another reason when you know you're running the ball well is when they know you're running it and you can't stop it. Because that's what happened at the end of the game. They needed to stop. They knew they were running it. They had 10 people in the box, and they still ran it to them. And that's when I was like, oh, they never had a chance all game. It didn't matter who you had, how many people they had in the box. They were not stopping the run. And yeah, I was telling my buddy, I think I'd rather play Lamar than Huntley because when they play Lamar, they don't. I feel like their offensive game plans let Lamar be Superman, and maybe that'll work. But that game plan with Huntley was, we don't have Lamar. We're going to run it 50 times, and we're going to win it that way. And on the other side, I mean, the Packers are just beat up. I don't know. At one point, they were probably my Super Bowl favorite. Now they're kind of, I don't even think they're going to be competitive in their playoff game. But I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but Malik Willis, I mean, oh my goodness. He played awesome. And he's got everything. He's got the whole package. He was throwing the first two balls were deep down the field, accurate, on time. He showed you he had legs. He scrambled out of the pocket. He pulled the read option a couple times. I mean, I know it's not, I know he doesn't have a bunch of game tape, but when he's played, he's been really good. So I think he next year he will be starting for somebody. What are your thoughts on this game and Malik Willis is starting next year?
Yeah. I mean, that was a great point you made about the Ravens. Like, I don't should fans even feel happy because it's like they could have been doing this all year with Derrick Henry, but there's been multiple fourth quarters where you was up and you found yourself trailing and you stopped giving that man the ball. And he just shown last week while you just need to keep feeding the man the ball and he's gonna make stuff happen. So, but I mean, overall, this was a very, very surprising for me. I thought this would have been much closer. I get Packers are injured, but I mean, Ravens just kind of bullied them this whole entire game. And yeah, we'll see what they do next week, but yeah, this is with Huntley. Like the Ravens bring the same dynamic as they would with Lamar, but like you said, like Lamar has been hurt all season, and but I mean Huntley, he's one of the best backups, and like he's just a great fit for this offense. But I mean, yeah, on the other side, Packers are beat up. I don't know if I've ever seen them get beat like this in Lambeau. So that was very impressive for the Ravens. And to your Malik Willis point, I think there will be a few teams that reach out to him for a starting quarterback position next year because I mean he shows he can move the ball and it's hard to scheme for him because like he brings that RPO, you know, threat to the offense. So Malik Willis, I think, has definitely earned him a job somewhere, even if it's still not a backup quarterback role in Green Bay. So yeah, that was pretty much my thoughts on this one.
Oh, well, I hope my team calls him for a starting position because I don't know what we got to lose. And then about your Ravens point, I think they're happy because they can make the playoffs now.
Yeah,
I think they would be mad. I think it would suck and they would be mad if they couldn't make the playoffs. But since they still have a game against the Steelers to win the division, I think you can be happier that
yeah,
like, all right, we can do it and our season's not over. We could still win this game or we could still win this division and make the playoffs if we play like that. So playing like that and winning the game meant something since the Steelers lost on Sunday. And last point on this game, I thought about it when I think it had to be Derrick Henry. He had 4 touchdowns. When Derrick Henry jumped in the stands and some fan pushed him, and I just thought I thought the guy had balls. Then I was like, oh, he doesn't have balls because he knows Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry hits him, that he's going to sue him and make money. So I think when a player does a leap at any stadium and a fan pushes him or hits him, I think that player should be allowed to take that man in an octagon and then just duke it out for 5 minutes and be like, "Hey, you're not going to sue me. Like, hey, you were man enough to punch me. Don't hide
hmm
behind a security guard and throw the hands up and do all that. No, if you're going to hit me in my helmet and try to punch me and push me down, that's fine. We'll just meet in the octagon. That's okay. Nobody's suing anyone. Man to man. You wanted to punch me like a man. Let's be man to man. Get in the octagon with me and let's see how that goes. Yeah, and I've seen it the last couple weeks. I've seen people jump in and I've seen fans push the dudes and hit them, and I'm like, that's so cowardly because I know if they just met on the street, he'd be like, "Hey, Derrick Henry, can you sign my Derrick Henry
yeah.
card?" Yeah, he wouldn't do all that. Yeah, he because that guy's and it's some 5'10", 160 pound soaking wet guy pushing Derrick Henry, and I was like, oh, it's become a crisis. They become so confident now that they're pushing and punching people in the helmet that they wouldn't have the balls to even
hmm
look at the wrong way out on the street. Yeah, I've been seeing it the last couple weeks. I had to say something. Oh, Jesus. Sunday, Steelers 6, Browns 10. I'm over it. Like, I don't want to hear that Metcalf didn't play because that's just another excuse. And that's another excuse that they'll give Tomlin for not winning a playoff game in 10 years. So I don't want to hear that. And I also don't want to hear that excuse because you got rid of your number 2 option / 1B option in Pickens. You weren't going to have to pay him. You got a 3rd round pick, so don't tell me you got a lot for him. You weren't going to have to pay him that much this year. You're kind of rebuilding anyways because we're old as hell. So like we were going all in for this year. So yeah, I'm done with them. I mean, what do I have look forward to? Because we're going to lose this weekend because we can't stop the run and DK killed the Ravens last time and we're not going to have them. We yeah, I don't know. There's nothing to look forward to. We got a 42-year-old quarterback. Our defense is old. I mean, our medical team's puncturing the lung of our best defensive player. I mean, what the hell happened there? Just all the guy went for treatment. We're punching him in the lung, puncturing his lung. Like, yeah, there we go. And not only that, it's falling apart. Boswell's missed 2 kicks the last 2 weeks. What the? I mean, did the Monstars suck his ability out of him? Like, I've never seen him miss 2 kicks, let alone 2 kicks that important. And he did it back to back weeks. So yeah, I don't know. I'm over him. Like I said, I don't want to hear the excuses of Metcalf didn't play. You should have had a number 2 receiver anyways. And I don't want to hear this coaching staff, this GM, the owner. I don't want to hear their excuses. I'm tired of excuses. We've heard excuses every year. And what's it got you? It's got you no playoff wins. And with the coaching, you want to hear an insane stat? The Steelers are winless, 0-4-1 in their last 5 games versus teams entering with a record of 8 games below 500, tying the longest streak in NFL history. We
Oh
have
wow.
not won our last 5 games against teams 8 games under 500. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear no. I'm tired of the excuses. I want a clean house. I want get rid of the old people. Get rid of old players because they ain't. I love some of them. Like I love Hayward. I love Watt. But I mean, you ain't won. You need a rebuild. Like I said, I'd like if they sign Malik Willis. I mean, what do you got to lose? Not really much because you're gonna have to pay him a little bit, but not that much. And he's young. You can build on him. And if he's not good, whoop de doo. You had a couple of bad years. Which I mean, what are we going to not win a playoff game for 12 years? I don't think that'd be the worst. We've already won one for 10 years. So yeah, that was my spew on them. What was your thoughts on this?
Yeah, you saw the Steelers really struggle without, top two receivers, on offense and DK and Calvin Austin. I mean, and honestly, I think the Steelers were more worried about Myles Garrett getting the sack record more than just playing their normal dose of football. That's kind of what it seemed like. I mean, Browns got off to a fast start. Shador played pretty well the first half. Second half, not so much. Steelers defense kind of got to him. But I mean, this is just a classic AFC North battle that we're used to seeing out of these teams usually every year. So, not surprised at the score. Steelers, I mean, still had a chance to win it late. Wasn't a fan of the play call. I mean, y'all attacked Denzel Ward. Was it 3 times in a row at the inside the 10? It's I'm like, yeah, that play call was not the best there. And that was a crazy stat you brought up there. I would have guessed that exactly, but I mean, you got one game left to get in the playoffs. I think y'all will ultimately get it done, but yeah, y'all like it hard for yourselves. But yeah, just a classic game that you would like. This just happens every year, so I don't think it's any surprise. But yeah, that was pretty much it for me.
Yeah, my last 2 thoughts on this. I've seen people saying that about Myles Garrett. I'm not gonna lie. As a Steeler fan, I've watched this year. The game plan was really the same. We had a backup left tackle, so we've chipped and helped with him anyways, and then we get the ball out quick. I don't think that was really our like. Obviously, yeah, we tried to not let Myles Garrett wreck the game, but I don't think that was kind of what our offense looked like this year. And also, I don't know what you look. I don't know what you expect to look like when you're throwing to MVS, Scotty Miller, and Adam Thielen double
Yeah.
digit. Like that's just that can't be the roster configuration, but it was. And yeah, I think Steelers fans. I'm not gonna lie, Philly. I think Steelers fans are. I don't think they want to win this one. I think they. I think they want to lose, and they want everybody to clean house. But I got something for you. It's the AFC North, and it's the Steelers. I don't know why you would expect them to clean house now. I don't. This year's been the same. It's been the same the last 10 years. They've never moved on. So I hope they just redo everything. But I mean, based on prior history, the Steelers have gave me no confidence that they're going to move on and reset. But who knows? All right, we're going to move on. I do have a question for you. All right, if this will this player win MVP this season? This is his numbers: 13-3 record, 7.4 yard per attempt, 64.5 completion percentage, 32 touchdowns, 34 total, and 0 interceptions.
0 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry. That's not one player. That's every quarterback that's played against the Jets this year. Yeah, that's that.
Oh, that's a
That's
good
what the
one.
Jets have given up, and all that got worse this week when the Patriots beat them 42-10. And I'm not gonna lie, 42-10, that was closer than what the score was. It was 35-3 at halftime, and they took people out and let off the gas. Like that might be the craziest thing I say, but 42-10 seemed closer than what the game actually was. Drake May, highest passer rating ever, 99.8. He was 19 of 21, 256 yards, and 5 touchdowns. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, man's a beast. I mean, just complete annihilation. Like that's what you see good teams do is handle handle the teams you're supposed to handle. And like this is a division game, so like you see these games are typically a little closer than what they are. But I mean, good teams handle business. That's what the Patriots did. Jets, nah, not really too much to say on their side. They've been pretty awful. I mean, they've got worse when Brady Cook has been in there. I thought he'd improve a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So, but yeah,
Alrighty. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what they do, where they go from here, because if I'm a Jets fan, like I said, with the Steelers not feeling confidence moving on, I don't know why they'd have confidence in them drafting a quarterback and developing that quarterback. But we're gonna move on. Saints 34, Titans 26. Hey, both these young guys, they look good. But now with Tyler Shuck, that was his ninth game starting. He now leads the rookie of the year race. He was 22 of 27 with this game, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's really figured it out. His last three, 71 completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 304 yards per game. I thought about it after this game. I think I'm going to hitch my wagon to Shuck and the Saints bandwagon next year. I think to start next year, I'm going to be big Shuck believer and a big Saints fan. As in, I think they're going to do some damage next year because, I mean, they've won 4 in a row, and now you got your quarterback, so you can draft around him. So I'm going to be hitching my wagon to the Shuck and Saints bandwagon next year. What about yourself, Philip?
oh yeah, I'm on it. And I gotta support a former Louisville quarterback always. Um, have you heard the Gunner remix? We getting shucked tonight. We getting shucked tonight. We getting shucked. Hey,
Hey, I
this
Shuck
guy's
and love all
legit.
those things, baby.
Hey, it's fun to watch this guy play, man. And yeah, he just give him the rookie of the year at this point, man. I mean, this guy's balling out. They was down 13-0 to the Titans. He didn't fall and cry and complain. He just he just shucked his way down the field every time and uh you know ended up winning this game. But I think the Saints are going to be a problem next year as well. I mean, honestly, in our lifetimes, we haven't seen the Saints be bad for too many years in a row. So, like you said, they got their quarterback, got their number one receiver. Defense probably needs to be worked on a little bit. You'll look through Kamara's contract, see what that's about. But you'll still get a high draft pick, in this upcoming draft, and they're not a complete rebuild. You can still build around this team. So yeah, this was a very impressive win. I mean, these Shuck and Moore, they went at it at in college anyway at Louisville and Miami. So you had a feeling they was gonna kind of put on a show. So, but yeah,
Yeah, I think I might. That's how I maybe might find my wife, Philly.
what's that?
I might say, "Baby, let's Shuck," and she goes, "Oh my God, that guy's awesome. He's so good at quarterback."
Yeah,
If I say, "Baby, let's Shuck," and she goes, "Dude, hey, Saints, they're a real bandwagon," I'll go, "Oh my God, I'm in love. That's a wife." But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I kind of didn't understand that when he fell during the draft. I didn't understand his fall because he had all the tools. He was big. He had the arm talent. Like he made all the NFL throws. He kind of turned the ball over a little bit, but I mean that happens sometimes. That's not the worst thing in the world. You can kind of get rid of that. So yeah, I never really understood his fall. and then they played Spencer Rattler over him. And
Mm-hmm.
the reports are in camp. The reports in camp was that he didn't play well in camp, but then ever since they started him, he's been balling. So I don't know if all that was maybe a little lies or what it was, but he's balling now.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, Jaguars 23, Colts 17. I mean, wasn't pretty, but playing a division rival on the road. I mean, they moved the ball. They had yards. They had almost 400 yards. They just went 2 of 5 in the red zone. Had 2 turnovers. So I'm not super worried about this because they wanted to, like I said, a division road game and still move the ball. And I mean, you're going to have games where you struggle in the red zone or turn the ball over. So as long as they don't make this a habit, I'm still on the Jags bandwagon. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean the Jags. You still put up near 4 touchdowns when in a game where you turned it over 2 times in the red zone. Was a divisional game. I mean, Phil Rivers, he had his family there, his high school team there. You had a feeling, they was gonna at least make this close, and it wasn't gonna be a ball out. But yeah, it doesn't make me think any different of the Jags right now. They're still getting turnovers on defense. Running game got going still. Uh, yeah, Trevor Lawrence. Other than the interception, he played pretty good. Got two touchdowns on the ground as well. So yeah, it just don't make me think any different about the Jaguars.
Are you sure it was his high school football team and not just his family and all his kids?
I mean, yeah, his amount of kids could make a football team. So I mean,
Well, and I
yeah,
knew I knew he had a lot of kids when they had to pan to put the whole family in there. It was just his wife
yeah,
and his kids, and they had to pan the camera like that. I said, Jesus Christ, God does have a lot of kids. Like
yeah.
it's one thing when they say it in person, but then when you see it and you're like, oh my God, that's I mean, well, if we're gonna post this, I can't say what I would say if I had that many kids, but yeah, I don't know how I don't know how I could handle that many. Jesus Christ, God doesn't pull out, that's for sure. Which hey, the wife's willing to take care of that many kids, hey, I guess keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Next, Bucks 17, Dolphins 20. I don't know what happened to the Bucks. The Bucks and Baker magic that they had when they were 5-1, and Baker was a top 3 MVP candidate, but they've lost it all, and it doesn't matter what them or the Panthers do. Like they're both going to get probably killed in the first game, but I don't know what either of them do. And the Bucks, I don't know about the front office, but I know the fan base has had enough of Todd Bowles. They are over Todd Bowles. They are done with Todd Bowles. They don't want to ever see Todd Bowles after whether it be next week if they lose or the playoff game. That's the one thing I've got from Bucks Twitter is they're done with that guy. Everyone else is kind of this sucks, but the Todd Bowles, there's not a lot of fans in the Todd Bowl fan club at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Bowles, I don't think he's honestly been the problem this year. I mean, obviously they've had a lot of injuries, but I mean Baker. I mean, he threw for 350, but he still had 3 turnovers. So Baker, like he's obviously not the MVP quarterback that we talking about 6 games in the season, and that defense hasn't been great either. I know, like I said, they've had injuries, but they haven't been able to stop a nosebleed. And here's my question for you: which one do you think would be more likely to happen? Mike Evans getting, I guess, picked up by another team, or him retiring first?
Retiring. I think if he hasn't went to another team by this point, I think he'll probably just retire a Buccaneer. I mean,
Okay.
unless he still thinks he's got something in him. I don't know. It also depends on his mindset. If he thinks he's got something in him, and the Bucks don't want to pay him, that's one thing. But I don't know what his mindset is.
Yeah. Cause I don't know if I've ever seen Mike Evans this like visibly frustrated, especially like it was like the last drive versus the Falcons when they didn't convert, and dude, he was just he looked like he was just over it. So I mean, and at this point, I mean, even if Bucks win this Saturday, they still do not control their own destiny. So, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, that was really all I had for this one.
All righty. Next, we'll stay in the division. Seahawks 27, Panthers 10. The Seahawks run the ball like that, control time possession, and don't turn the ball over. I don't know who they lose to because, like, when I just look at talent and players, I do not think anyone has more talent than the Seahawks, but their quarterback's played 3 or 4 big games in a row, and he's turned the ball over in every single one. So that's what gives me pause, but nothing else gives me pause. And with the Panthers, Bryce Young's stat line 14 to 24, 54 yards, 2.3 yards per completion, uh, or yards per attempt, my fault. 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. And I finally made up my mind. I've always thought I don't know if he's a starter or not. And at this point, if I still don't know if he's a starter because he's not been consistent enough, he's not a starter. Like that I've had to make a decision because I kept being back and forth. He'd throw for 350 and then have a game like this. So my thought was finally, yeah, if I don't know at this point if he's a starter, he's not a starter. And yeah, this division, the best team is not going to get in because the Falcons have won 3 in a row, the Saints have won 4 in a row, the Bucks are 2-8 in their last 10, and Panthers are 2-3 in their last 5. The division as a total is negative 225 point differential. And whoever's going to win it, whether it be the Panthers, I said the Panthers, the Panthers are minus 67 point differential, and the Bucks are minus 33 point differential. So the whole division sucks, but based on the last 5-6 weeks, the best team's not even going to make the playoffs. The best team's not going to win this division and make the playoffs out of this division.
Yeah, yeah. The point differential in this division is kind of insane. I mean, just off of what the Panthers have been doing, I mean, this was given a loss because they haven't won two straight games since the very maybe not even all season, but they also haven't lost 2 games in quite a while. So yeah, they was due for a loss this one, which means week 18 they should beat the Buccaneers. But I mean, yeah, the Seahawks they just dominate the run game, and yeah, when Sam Darnold doesn't have to throw, and this run game can get going, get through the holes. I mean, this team is very dangerous with that defense they have, on the other side. And yeah, Bryce Young, he looked terrible this week, which means he's probably going to ball out next week. But yeah, he's on that thin line of like that starting quarterback. He'll look great one week, bad the next. He just hasn't put it all together for a full season yet, which kind of sucks for him. But yeah, I mean Seahawks they do still look like one of the most complete teams. I mean if like I said if they don't have to put it in Donald's hands, that's better for them. So good win.
Yeah. Next one. Cardinals 14, Bengals 37. Not a lot to say. Looks like Burrow and this offense has taken out their anger the last 2 weeks, and the Cardinals suck. That's all I got to say on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's it.
Yeah. Next one. Oh, Jesus Christ. We talk about team sucking. Giants 34, Raiders 10. This was the tank off, and the Raiders won the tank off. They get the number 1 pick, but knowing them, they're not going to make the right draft selection. So actually, neither of these teams will, knowing them too. Which actually, I can't even say that about the Giants because they have drafted Darton Neighbors. But besides that, they stink, and there's not a lot to look forward to. But we'll see about that. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, this was battle of the ass, And yeah, Giants took that. That's their first win in forever, by the way. But I've heard I don't really have thoughts about the game. It's whatever. But I did hear rumors about Giants considering drafting a quarterback still. What's your thoughts about
Yeah,
that?
I have heard about those rumors. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched Mendoza. I don't think he's that guy, and I think you've seen enough from Dart using his legs and making a lot happen with. I mean, even not his number one receiver and his starting running back all year with a terrible offensive line. So I don't know why you would get a guy that I don't think's better and basically just restart another rebuild and not get better at any other position to help your quarterback, but get a new quarterback. So yeah, I don't know how smart that'd be, but I mean, with the Giants, you never know. Next one. This was an ugly one. Eagles 13, Bills 12. Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. He made multiple massive mistakes in this game, whether it be the fumble, whether it be some bad decision making on the fourth down where he didn't. It looked like a running back was open. I could have been wrong. He could have maybe never saw him at the end. Could have maybe been too quick, but it looked there. And then obviously the 2 point conversion where Shakir looked open and he just pulled it and he just missed him. Either of these teams, I was high on these teams a couple weeks ago. I'm about as low as you can be. The Eagles, I mean, they had 17 yards in the second half. I don't understand. They can't play two good halves of football. Their defense is really good. Like, I really like their defense. But their offense is, like, they just go through stretches where they're horrible. And I don't want to hear, because I know Eagles fans are going to say, oh, the offensive coordinator. I don't want to hear that. I'm tired of hearing that. The offensive coordinator has nothing to do with your run blocking, your pass blocking, your quarterback missing open guys, whether it be not throwing to them or just missing them, and your receivers dropping balls. Like, I'm tired of the offensive coordinator excuse. And then on the Bills, I seen somebody say the Bills have had a top five defense since Thanksgiving. And I looked up, I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But it was in total yards. It wasn't points or rushing yards, where they gave up 34 to the Bengals. They gave up 160 rushing yards to the Browns, and they gave up 250 rushing yards to the Patriots. So when I seen that person say that, I was like, that's kind of disingenuous because he was talking about Josh Allen having help. And I was like, well, complimenting their defense is not what you should do. Their defense, they can't stop the run. Yeah, wow, they're the best team against the pass. I wonder why. Because the offense goes, why would we throw the ball? They can't stop the run. We're going to run it right at them all game. The Browns were averaging 3.5 yards per carry. They averaged 5 yards per carry on them. The Patriots had 250. They averaged 10 yards per carry against the Bills. And they don't have a good receiver. So, yeah, the Bills, they just have too many holes for me. And the Eagles, that offense, I can't trust that offense. There's no way I can. But what were your thoughts?
Yeah, two teams that I feel like would have been a little overrated the whole entire season. But this game showed me like more about like I feel less about the Eagles. Just the simple fact that you dominated this game in the first half, and then like you said, Fred, they had 17 yards in the second half. Like you still managed to win because Josh Allen didn't make a play that he's gonna make 9 out of 10 times. But I mean the fact that they've had multiple just terrible halves where you have nothing going for yourselves. Now this defense has played, a little bit better down the stretch, getting some more guys healthy. But I think this offense, this isn't an offense you think can make the Super Bowl. Like there's just no way. This like you still didn't have you wasn't really good on the ground in this game. Jalen Hurts, I get it, it was snowing, but I mean you barely threw for 100 yards. Like this offense is kind of abysmal. And yeah, you was literally a 2 point conversion away from losing this game after you dominated the whole first half, let the Bills come back, and like you said, Josh Allen just had a few critical mistakes, or they would have won this game. But yeah, I mean, both of these teams, I mean, like I already said, are just overrated, and I don't see them, neither one of them, making a deep playoff push. Yeah, just way too many holes from both of these teams. So
Yeah, I feel the same about both. Sunday Night Football. Bears 38, 49ers 42. Bears fan, you go first.
yeah, I mean, the even though we lost, this made me feel very good. It's kind of crazy to say that about my team still. It kind of just showed me that we can go toe for toe, I think, with any offense. And I haven't said that in a very long time. So that's very positive. Now, on the flip side of that, I would love for our defense to get a stop. But I mean, that's been hard to stop this Niners team. Did you see the stat that they hadn't punted since November?
Yeah.
Or maybe you might have even said that last episode, but like I thought that was crazy. So I mean, the fact that we even had them punt, I feel like that was a little bit of positive. But I mean, yeah, I mean on the defensive side of the ball, we look really terrible. We start off the game with a pick six, and then we couldn't stop anything they wanted to do. They didn't even have George Kittle, so maybe that tells you a little bit more about San Fran's offense. It's just kind of elite. I mean, CMC, just a workload. I think he got a little bit banged up this game. So, but I mean, this came down to the last two games that we've lost. We've lost on the last play in the red zone. So, I mean, I still feel stoked about our chances to do anything in the playoffs. I mean, Caleb still missed a few throws, but I mean, when it counts, like he's right there on the money. I mean, in that last play of the game, I mean, San Fran, they rushed a lot. And if you look at the play, there's really nothing open besides DJ Moore on the whole other side of the field that, never tries to come back to the ball this year for some reason. But I mean, our our rookie class are just studs, man. They've been pivotal to our offense. Cal Monangai, Luther Burden almost going for 150. Colston Loveland right behind them at almost 100 yards. So, yeah, I'm just excited that our offense will have us like competing in every single game. And yeah, it does suck. It's kind of like our defense is really not that good. We give up a lot of yards, but I mean, our specialty is taking the ball away. If we don't do that, I mean, we're probably not going to win, but I mean, we've been doing it all year. So,
Alrighty. Yeah, that's the two things on the Bears side. The first thing I thought about was Caleb Williams. I mean, the difference in this year and last year. Every time last year, his first read wasn't open. He was running out of the pocket and trying to make some crazy throw. This year, he's standing in the pocket. He's checking out. He's going through all his reads. He's taking his time. And not only that, he's found, I think he's found the perfect balance this year of when to scramble and when to stay in the pocket, when to look at all his reads, when to know he's got a good pocket, and then when to make a play with his legs. And like we said, he's missed some throws this year, which is weird because like all the insane throws he makes. I mean, the rolling left over dude's head with pressure in his face, he makes those, and then he'll miss a slant or a drag right across his face. So that feels like something that if he's got the accuracy on the other throws, he can fix it on them. So yeah, the I don't know, and I assume it's Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson wasn't there last year. He's there this year, and Caleb looks like a completely different person. And the other thing I thought about on the Bears was, you know, we've said all year they need to take the ball away, and when they take the ball away, they're fine. But I think in a game like this, it scared me because I got to see in person Like, what happens when they don't take the ball away? Because you took it away the first possession, and then you didn't take it away the rest of the game, and you really didn't stop them at all. Like, they got everything they want. So I think it scared me even more seeing them against a good offense not really get the turnovers. So that's, like you said, offense. I mean, great. I was like, gee, yeah, they can score with any. They can definitely win a shootout. That they showed me they can win a shootout. But in the same vein, it was also like, man, if they don't get turnovers against a good offense, it's going to be tough to beat a team having to score 40 points. I know your offense is good, but 40 points is still tough. And on the other side, people owe Brock Purdy an apology because just last year, everyone's saying he wasn't worth the money. And oh man, see, look what happens. People are hurt. He's not no good no more. He's not worth $50 million. Earlier this year, people were like, "Oh, Mac Jones, play Mac Jones. He's a lot cheaper." And now they're winning games with decimated defense without Fred Warner or Bosa. They gave up 38 this week. They gave up 27 last week. Oh, by the way, Trent Williams and George Kittle were both out. Your best receiving option was Jawan Jennings, and he scored 48 last week and 42 this week. So I just want people to, I don't know what excuse they're going to use now. And I guess it's just because it's almost like that he got drafted in the 7th round. So people thought he couldn't get no better. Because after they went to the Super Bowl loss, people got hurt. And it was his 3rd year. Everybody was like, oh, man, see, look, you shouldn't have paid him that money. Instead of thinking like, oh, no, he can get better. Like, just the whole team was hurt. You get a couple guys back, he'll be good. And he ain't even had everybody back this year. And he finally got healthy. Because that was also another problem, was that he wasn't healthy until the last couple games. And the last 3 games, he's been healthy. He's been healthier longer than that, but like the last 3 games, he's got his rhythm because last 3 games, he's 298 per game with 11 touchdowns. And he just found it. And hey, white boy got swag. God forget a white boy get a little motion. I mean, hitting the Dougie, I said, oh boy, white boy's got swag right now. White boy's got motion right now. That's what I thought when I was seeing that. I said, oh man, white boy. I mean, he's playing like that, and he's balling like that. Oh man, he's on a level right now. And another reason I said that he was a 7th rounder. I think another reason is he don't look like Mahomes. He don't look like Josh Allen. He don't look like Lamar. He don't look like Herbert. He's not 6'5". He's not 250. And he's not a super athletic guy. But I mean, he was making plays with his legs. I mean, you were watching the game. You're a Bears fan. How many times did he make insane plays getting outside the pocket with his legs that looked like a Lamar, that looked like a Josh Allen, that looked like a Mahomes?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody just slides past it because he's not those guys.
No, he definitely did. It was a lot of like we couldn't get any pressure on him. He's making a lot of plays with his legs. Yeah, he was making us look silly on defense. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but that also shows me. I talked about the Bears defense. The 49ers defense also scares me because they gave up 38 this week. They gave up 27 to 50-year-old Phil Rivers. And that they can't rush the passer. They can't really get no pressure. So yeah, they're another. Both defenses that game kind of was like, oof. Love the offenses, but the defense kind of gave me a little hesitancy. But the good thing is that everybody in the NFC and AFC have major holes. So it's not like they're going to run up against a team where I'm like, oh man, this is a complete team. They don't really have a chance. Everybody they play, they'll have a chance against. That's the good thing. And alrighty, we're going to finish out with Monday Night Football for the slate. Rams 24, Falcons 27. What were your thoughts on this one, Philly?
Yeah. Uh, I guess Falcons need to be on prime time to play good because I mean that's where they've excelled the whole season, and you just saw Bijan like they just fed Bijan. He had over 25 touches this game, a few big long runs, including that I believe it was a 90 yard rush where I mean nobody was gonna get him, not even Usain Bolt there. But I mean you've seen this Rams defense give up a lot of points these last 4 or 5 weeks, and that's uh probably an alarming question you're asking. Like, is this defense not as good as we thought they were? And then on top of Stafford, having 3 picks, that cannot happen. I feel like that a game like this that hurts your MVP case. And I don't know. This game was really just weird from the start. I mean, Falcons, they got off to a 21-0 point lead. That's not what, anybody was thinking coming into this game. Um, but yeah, it I mean that's really all for me, but it's like on that Falcon side, it's you could have easily made the playoffs this year, like with Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix. Like there's been too many games this season where like you just blew a lead or just critical mistakes that I think can be fixed. But I mean, we'll see. Where what the GM what they're thinking of Raheem Morris next season if they want to bring him back in to coach this team. Because I mean, you have all the pieces. Like you didn't even need to use any of your wideouts. You didn't need Pitts, London, anybody this game. You just fed it to Bijan, and you wonder like could you do that every game and be successful? So. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, the two things on the Falcons side I got from this game is Raheem Morris, he should be gone. I mean, I watched them play the Rams and I thought, oh, I think they have more talent than the team that everybody was calling the best team in football a couple weeks ago. And on both sides of the ball, because they got young, we've talked about it, they got young defensive talent too. And I don't think you can get rid of the GM because how can I get rid of a GM that drafted Kyle Pitts? He drafted Bijan. He drafted Drake London. He drafted James Pierce Jr. Like, this dude's drafted, like, we got a bunch of talent, but we just can't win. And also, another thing, I think since they've only been on prime, they haven't been on prime time in a while. I forget how good Bijan is until I watch him in a primetime game by himself. I forget that dude is, I mean, truly special. Because some of those plays, he's got everything. He's got balance. He's got speed. He's got juke moves. He can run you over. He's got power. Like that, I forget how truly special that dude is every time he plays. And for the Rams, I mean, we talked about it. I thought it. I looked up them stats last week after that Seahawks game. Man, that defense is worrisome. I thought they were complete a couple weeks ago, but now that defense, because they were giving up a lot of passing yards, and in this game they couldn't stop Bijan, which I know that's a tough task, but dang, how much? I mean, you can't let a guy kill you that bad. So yeah, the Rams. I mean, they've fallen back to the pack big time. So yeah, that defense is a little worrisome for me. And Falcons, if they move on, if they get the right head coach in there, I think they got a real chance next year to be a good team. Make a couple moves you need, and then go forward from there.
Does
All
it?
righty. That's what
Sorry, real quick. But does it not seem like they kind of like just was sleepwalking into this game like as a cakewalk? That's kind of what it seemed
what
from me.
Rams.
Yeah, Rams. Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't come out with a lot of energy. Wasn't a lot of like we need this one.
yeah.
Like it wasn't. It didn't have a prime time feel for their side. The Falcons looked like
Hmm.
they were juiced and ready to go. The Rams kind of. It almost felt like a 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock West Coast start time, like when they played the Panthers.
Yeah.
Is almost what it looked like.
Hmm.
And alrighty, that's it for the slate. Oh, also, I like their third Reich helmets, by the way.
Oh yeah, legit.
Yeah, they had the They had those numbers right there. All righty. That's it for the slate. We're going to move on to true or false. True or false? Well, we're going to preface it by saying we're going to talk about the decision in that Bills game to go for two. True or false? That was an idiotic move to go for two when the Eagles had 17 yards in the second half. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go true. Why in the hell would Sean McDermott go for two when your defense has allowed 17 yards in the second half? They can't move the ball, and you're going to go for two. You're not going to go into overtime where your offense has scored 13 points in the fourth quarter, and you've allowed 17 in the second half. You're going to go for two and rely on one play. Yeah, when that decision was made, I didn't understand it, and now that today's happened, I still don't understand it anymore. What were your thoughts? True or false?
I'm gonna I'm gonna go false, but I will say, like personally, if I was coach, I would have tied it up with the way the Eagles, offense was moving the ball. But just for the simple fact, you have the best quarterback in the league. You're gonna leave it in his hands. I mean, if he throws it on point, then you win that game. So I'm not mad at the call, but personally, yeah, if I was coach, I would have tied it up and ramped up for overtime.
All righty. Next, true or false? True or false? Most unappreciated QB in the league is Brock Purdy. I'll go first on this one. I'm gonna go true. Like I was saying earlier, everybody said he was overpaid last year. They said he was only good because of the people he's got around him. And then everybody gets hurt, and they go, "Oh, see, look, you wasted 50 million." This year, Mac Jones plays good a couple games. Everyone goes, "Oh my God, you should bench him for Mac Jones, or you should bench Brock Purdy for Mac Jones." Yeah, look, see, he'll be a lot cheaper and he'll be just as good. Yeah, and then the last 300 yards per game, 11 touchdowns, one interception. Dude's balling. His offense has scored 48 and 42 the last 2 weeks, and they are rolling into the playoffs. They got a game against the Seahawks for the number one seed. We'll see what he can do against that defense. True or false, Philly?
Yeah, I'm gonna go true, but I do think there's a few quarterbacks I feel like that fit into this category. But yeah, I mean Brock Purdy, he's uh definitely underappreciated. I mean, this guy was picked in the seventh round, and then people feel like just because he's had all these weapons throughout the years that he's just supposed to like just be Houdini, you know what I'm saying? And but he's definitely probably the most, underappreciated. I mean, this year he hasn't had those weapons and has still been balling. And yeah, he's about to have a chance to have the 49ers be a one seed. So I'll go true.
Yeah, last week didn't have Trent Williams or George Kittle. Best receiving option was Juwan Jennings, and still does what he does. Like you said, making plays outside the pocket, using his legs, being accurate on time when he needs to be, then using his legs when he needs to. And also, another guy that falls into that category, I think, is this year is Caleb Williams. I think you could put Caleb Williams this year in that
Hmm.
category. And I think, like Brock Purdy last year, they were crapping on both of them last year. Oh, see, he's not a generational talent. He paints his nails. He's overrated. See, he can't play in the NFL. And then when he plays good this year, nobody wants to give him his due. It's like, well, whoa, whoa, whoa. You were crapping on him last year. You, you're not going to say something good about him now?
Hmm.
Now that he's playing good, you don't want to say that's how it normally works. They don't when they're going bad, they crap on them, and then when they play good, they don't give them their due. They're just like, oh yeah, sure, I guess they're playing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next segment. Well, I guess it's a segment. It's really just a question, but who's your MVP, Drake May or Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, give me Drake May, especially after this past game. where people didn't think that game was much important for the Rams, but I mean I think it is key for the Rams, especially for Stafford's case. Like you just had two touchdowns and three interceptions when you haven't really been turning the ball over all season, and then you've just seen the difference between the Patriots last season to this season. I mean, they was 4-13 last year. They're 13-3 going into the last week of the season, so you already got a better record. I'm not sure the touchdown and interception ratio, but I know they're close to the same. But it's got to be Drake May for me. Just with what he's done with, I'd say he's done more with less, if that makes sense. So I think Drake May definitely has to get it at this point in the season.
See, this is a tough decision for me because I think you're right. I think he's done it with less, but he has played only his schedule's been one of the easiest schedules I think on record since either 1999 or 2004. And the Rams play in the hardest division in football. So it's kind of tough. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I think if I had to pick based on last year to this year, I think I'd pick May, but I think they'll choose Stafford. Like I think it's gonna be one of them ones where they give it to Stafford. I think if you let me vote, I'd pick May, but I think Stafford wins the MVP. All righty, we're gonna finish it up on this segment. We're gonna do the NFC today, and we're gonna do the AFC on Friday. We're gonna do can they win the Super Bowl? NFC edition first. All righty. NFC South winner. We'll start off with an easy one. Do you think they
No,
can win the Super Bowl?
uh, no shot. I don't care if it's the Panthers. I mean, Panthers will have a better chance than the Bucks, I believe. But I mean, that's still no chance. So no.
Yeah. All righty. Next one. Can they win the Super Bowl? Packers. I'll go first. I think no. I think they're just too decimated, too many injuries. You can't pay $47 million for a guy and then just make that up. I understand what people say when they say, "Oh, next man up," but the next man up ain't Micah Parsons. He ain't close to Micah Parsons. He ain't half of Micah Parsons, and that's before you get to all the other injuries on the defense. And like offensively, I mean, Malik Willis has been playing better and more consistent since he's been in there than your starting quarterback. So yeah, injuries on defense. Love's still a little inconsistent. He's played good this year, but he's had some inconsistencies. So, yeah, I'm going to go no there. Do you think they can?
Yeah, no shot. And I mean, we saw the falls early in the season. After they had lost some games that they wasn't supposed to. They tied with the Cowboys when they was struggling real bad. And then really when the Parsons injury happened, you kind of knew their shot was pretty much over. So, yeah. Love he's played better throughout, the back half of the season. But I mean, he's still not even 100% coming off that concussion, and yeah, I just don't think this team will have enough with all the injuries. So I'm gonna go no.
All righty. You go first on the next one. Can the Bears win the Super Bowl?
Yes, most definitely. This is just one of those. Like I feel like this Bears team this year just has one of those feels to it, sort of like the Commanders last season with Jaden Daniels going to the NFC Championship, which kind of surprised everybody. But I believe just each week we're kind of just turning heads with the way Caleb Williams is playing, have one of the best rushing offenses, the best turnover differential on defense, which is honestly the reason we've won a lot of games. So yeah, I say why not? Well, I think Bears can win the Super Bowl.
All righty. I'll go next. Yeah, I think they can because I think the offense showed me that they can win a shootout, and the defense has shown me that they can turn you over. But it scares me that basically if your defense doesn't get turnovers, you're going to have to win a shootout. Like that's and seeing it in person, seeing it not in person, but seeing it watching the game and be that bad when they don't turn you over, that was a little scary. So I think yes, but it scares me a little bit that their defense is that bad when they don't get turnovers. But the offense impressed me. The quarterback impressed me. The play calling, I mean, the receivers, the tight end, the running back, everything impressed me on offense. But a little worrisome for the after that defensive performance. Next, I'll go first on this one. Can the Eagles win the Super Bowl? I think no. That offense, you can't have 17 yards and a half, and this can't be a thing that you've done regularly. Regularly, like you've done it multiple times. This ain't the only time this Eagles offense has had a bad half, and the defense is awesome. I mean, the defense has got studs everywhere, and I know Lane Johnson's back, but I mean, I don't know if he can fix everything and fix all the problems they have. So I'm gonna go no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go no as well. It just seems like this season, like although they do have 11 wins, most of these like they're not putting it together for two halves. This offense has been way too inconsistent. The defense hasn't been good all year. They're playing great at the right moment, which is good. But this offense, there's no way I can trust this offense when you don't know what you're gonna get on a week to week basis. So I'm gonna go no. Eagles cannot repeat.
All righty. Next, you can go first on this one. Can the Seahawks win the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna go yes because I do think this is the second best defense in the whole entire league behind the Texans, and then really with the only few questions you have with the Seahawks is Darnold gonna come to play? Is he not gonna turn over the ball? Like if Darnold is flawless, this Seahawks team is very dangerous, maybe the most dangerous team in the whole NFL. And then also that running game. If you become well, really, I guess these kind of correlate together because when your run game's not going in Seattle, then I think that's when you're relying too much on Darnold, and then that's when he does turn over the ball. So if you're running good and Darnold's not turning it over, yes, the Seahawks can very well win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go true as well. Or I'm gonna go yes, they can, but they scare me because your quarterback is the most untrustworthy guy on the team. I do not like that. He's the guy that I'm most worried is going to not come to play, play bad, turn the ball over. That's not good. I don't like that. But I think all around they have the most talented roster because that offense has talent everywhere. The defense is loaded. I mean, they got guys everywhere. So I think they're the most talented team. But it does scare me that their QB is the most probably unreliable guy that I don't know what I'm going to get on the team. Next, you can finish us off first here. Can the Rams win the Super Bowl?
Yes, they can, but I mean, this Rams team, in my personal opinion, is overrated. But I mean, you have a veteran quarterback. You've already won a Super Bowl. You have, quite a few pieces off of that Super Bowl team. So I mean, you still got the identity. You have the coach in Sean McVay. Um, Defense hasn't looked great, the back half of the season. But I mean, with that offense, I mean, you'll have a chance in any game that you play. So yeah, the Rams very well. They very can win the Super Bowl, but I don't ultimately think they will. But yes, they do have a chance.
All righty. I think I'm gonna go yes, but they have the opposite problem of the Seahawks. They have a great quarterback that I trust entirely, but their defense sucks. And I don't know how bad they suck because for some reason this wasn't a problem the first 8, 9 games of the year, even longer than that, probably 12 games. But this last 4 or 5 games, I mean, they've given up yards through the air. And then against the Falcons, you give up what you gave up against Bijan. I mean, you let Bijan run all over you. So once again, every team, like we've said, in the NFC, AFC, both conferences, every team that's going to make the playoffs has a massive hole and a massive worry that you're like, man, that would be my favorite, but they have this problem. So yeah, that defense scares me, but I trust the quarterback, I trust the receiver, I trust the head coach. So they're they've fallen out of my favorite. They were my favorite at once to win the NFC and Super Bowl, but they've fallen out of that. They're still top two, top three, top two team, I think, and trust just because the main positions they have guys I trust, but we'll see. That's it for that. Like I said, we'll have the AFC version on Friday's show. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Philly?
You want to do Niners?
What's that?
40. You want to do 49ers? I think it's the last team.
Oh, crap. Yeah. No, you're right. I don't. They were in between Rams and NFC South winner. I thought I said them. Uh, Alrighty, I'll go first on this one. Can the 49ers win the Super Bowl? I'm going to go yes, but much like the Bears, the defense scares me. They're like, but I mean, they are like the Seahawks. I like the coach. I like the way, I like the coach. I like the way the QB's been playing. I love the offense, but the defense is scary because they can't rush the passer. But it's not really their fault that their defense ain't as good as it was because if I pulled the best two players off every defense, if I pulled their star middle linebacker and their stud edge rusher, they probably wouldn't be near as good. So I think it's unfortunate that their defense can't rush the passer and their defense ain't as good, but I think they can win the Super Bowl. But that defense is a massive, massive turnoff for me picking them, but that they still could definitely win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go yes as well. And this is actually my preseason pick to win the Super Bowl that I placed back in August. More of just like a long shot sprinkling on somebody before the season, and the Niners is who I landed on, and my cash out's going up, so I love that. But the Niners very well can win the Super Bowl if they beat Seattle this Saturday. Then they could play the remaining playoffs at home, and the Super Bowl would be in their home stadium. So they would only need what 2 wins to get to the Super Bowl if they got that 1 seed. And I gotta give Kyle Shanahan like a kudos because what he's done with this roster, like I would have to bet that Niners, maybe Bucks, like I think Niners have probably had the most injuries out of any team did this whole entire season. You know, Kendrick Bourne was their number one receiver for multiple weeks this season. They've had Mac Jones start about half of their games this season. Purdy's been balling out the games that he's played. And this team, if they was to get to the NFC Championship, I believe Fred Warner will be back, which would be, huge for that defense. Um, and yeah, that offense is pretty good. I do agree with you that their defense does have a lot of holes in it, but I feel like just Fred Warner alone, if they was to get him back earlier than expected, uh, then that would be great for them. That would stop a whole lot of problems. So yeah, I do think the Niners very well can win the Super Bowl.
Oh no, yeah. If he could get back, that would solve a lot of problems because that's a linebacker that can cover receiver or not really receivers, but can cover running backs and tight ends, and then also he can run sideline to sideline against the run better than anyone. Yeah, and then like I said, like yeah, that would be huge for them. And like we said, Brock Purdy, you got the quarterback playing well, and then head coach. I think you're right. Shanahan deserves more credit for what he's doing, and I think the only reason that he's not coach of the year is because they had expectations going into the year, which is not fair
Yeah.
because the team hasn't been what everyone expected the team to be all year.
Yeah.
Bosa's been out for a while. Warner's been out for a while. Williams has had stretches being out. Kittle's been out. Like Jenny, like they've
IU.
had everyone injured. Yeah, IU ain't even played. Debo, like that's why they've had dudes be hurt all year, which Debo wasn't there before. But yeah, that's I think the only reason he doesn't win it is because they had expectations, which is stupid because the team's been hurt all year and he's coached the injured Riddle team to possibly the number one seed in the NFC. Alrighty, that's it for the NFC version. Is there anything else you want to say, Philly, about this slate?
No, week 18's here.
Alrighty, yes it is. We'll see y'all on Friday.